Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to a moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Today, in the Once Upon a Coconut Hydration with Heart segment, we're going to dive into greatness, defy the norms, and embrace our unique rhythm. At least those are the words our next guest seems to live by. At just 17 years old, Zeke Sanchez has taken the internet and the diving world by storm. From the sunny pools of Arizona to the millions of screens on TikTok, Zeke's mesmerizing spins, twists, and dives challenge what society expects from an athlete. But Zeke isn't just a diver. He's a pioneer for body positivity and inclusivity in sports. He's not your typical diver, not because of his talent, which is undeniable, but because he's redefining what an athlete looks like. Zeke is breaking barriers and proving that skill, determination, and heart far outweigh traditional expectations. He's showing the world that greatness comes in every shape and size. Today, we're making a splash as he shares his inspiring journey. Get ready to laugh, be inspired, and rethink everything you know about what it means to be an athlete. We're going to flip the script. Let's find out how Zeke Sanchez is diving into inclusivity and breaking barriers in sports. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Hey, how are you doing this morning?
So excited to have you. I am ecstatic that I stumbled across your page on Instagram. There's definitely some tons of good that comes out of social media, like connecting with incredible people like you, but more importantly, watching you perform. Zeke, that's pure magic. Diving is such a high skill sport, and it's incredible to see how you found your place in it while breaking stereotypes along the way. I mean, most people think of divers as lean, compact, and maybe even cookie cutter in appearance, but you've turned that assumption on its head with every single jump. Tell me, how did you first discover your passion for diving and what drew you to the sport?
So when I was about 8 years old, my mom signed me up for like a city diving program, and not too long after that, the program was only about 2 weeks, and just shortly after that, it was over, and I wanted to do more. And fortunately, I talked to one of the lifeguards, and they introduced me to club. Just the little bit of fun I had in those 2 weeks inspired me to keep going. My sister, she was a competitive gymnast, and so I grew up around the gym a little bit with her. So being able to have like not like my own sport, but like my own sport, um, that was definitely something that was super fun. That kind of included the aspect of gymnastics.
It's amazing to hear how passion can grow out of unexpected places. And I love that your story shows it's not always about fitting a mold, but about creating your own path. And you did just that. Now let's talk about your viral presence. So TikTok and Instagram has become this incredible platform for amplifying voices and stories like yours. What I love about your content is that it's so authentic. You're not just showcasing your dives, but also inspiring millions to rethink what athleticism looks like. That's real influence, Zeke. So what inspired you to start sharing your dives on TikTok, and how has the response shaped your journey?
So actually, what's really funny is I've actually always shared my videos online just for family. Um, but just, I want to say in 2021, um, a judge at a competition actually posted a video of me, and within 48 hours, it had accumulated like 115 million views.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I wasn't tagged, so nobody knew it was me. But about a year later, at the same competition, my dad happened to post a video, and that's when it all took off.
The fact that you've turned something as technical as diving uh, a tool for positivity and inclusivity blows my mind. I mean, Instagram and TikTok may have started as a place for dance challenges, but creators like you are using it to redefine entire industries. It's truly mesmerizing. So diving isn't just about physical strength, right? It's a mental game. You know this more than anyone else. You're doing it in a way that's so bold and refreshing. I can't imagine the pressure you must feel sometimes, but the way you show up is inspiring to people who've never even thought of stepping foot on a diving board. What motivates you to keep pushing boundaries in a sport that hasn't traditionally embraced body diversity?
Honestly, my biggest motivation in my sport is proving others wrong. Any negativity, I use that as my fuel to keep going and to be a better athlete. And you shouldn't let somebody else define what you can do.
Yeah, your courage and perseverance are such a beacon of hope, not just for aspiring athletes, but for everyone who's ever felt like they don't belong. And what you're doing goes beyond sports. It's creating a ripple effect of empowerment. So, congratulations to you, my dear. Now, diving is such a graceful technical sport, and watching you spin, twist, and land so perfectly is mesmerizing. But I'm sure there's a lot of hard work and preparation behind the scenes that most people don't get to see. That's the part of the iceberg that's hidden underwater, right?
Right.
So what goes into preparing for a dive, both physically and mentally?
So outside of the pool, before every practice and even after practice, we do about 30 minutes of warming up where we practice all of our positions and everything like that outside of the water. Our coaches like to say what you practice outside of the water shows up on the board. So, definitely drills and like repetition is definitely um, every diver's biggest like strength, I guess, to become better.
Yeah, and it's clear that your preparation is as intentional as your dives are stunning, without a doubt. And hearing the effort behind it makes me appreciate your performances even more. So, body positivity in sports is such a critical conversation right now, and you are a trailblazer in that space. But I know it can't always be easy, right? The internet can be ruthless, and we've all seen how athletes face criticism. Yet here you are, thriving and inspiring others to rise above negativity. So, what challenges have you faced as an advocate for body positivity in sports, and how do you handle criticism?
So probably the biggest thing I face, honestly, um, well, numbers wise, anyways, is the comments on social media. Um, a lot, like you said, it's untraditional for somebody like me to be doing a sport like diving. And honestly, I've really tried to not let it affect me at all because at the end of the day, a lot of the people that are commenting, they couldn't get up there and do what I do. And they don't know the hours and years of practice and effort that I've done to be able to be where I'm at today. In diving, like at competitions, parents, like especially when it's travel meets, like everybody here has seen me locally, but whenever we go to a travel meet, people see me and um, they definitely stereotype and they're like, oh, he's not going to do so great. And then they see me warm up and I might not always have the best warm up, but then it comes to the meet, that's when it counts. And so I put in my all and they see me do great. And they sometimes even come up to me after the competitions and they're like, wow, you did an amazing job. Like we weren't expecting to see that from you. And that honestly is super inspiring for me to know that um, other people are recognizing my hard work and effort.
Wow. And guys, you have to remember he's only 17 years old. He's 17 years old. So I, as a mom, I'm hearing you tell me this. And number one, I have a certain amount of pain as I'm listening to your story, but I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. And the way you turn criticism into motivational is just incredible. It's a reminder that even in the toughest moments, we have the power to choose resilience over defeat. And you are doing that over and over again. Now, inclusivity isn't just a buzzword, right? It's a movement, and you are at the forefront of it in the diving world. I can only imagine what it would mean for young athletes everywhere to see more representation in a sport like yours. What changes would you like to see in the diving community to make it more inclusive for athletes of all body types?
I think the change that I need to see in the diving community is just more positivity in like for your athlete, no matter your size, whether you're fit or you're not. Um, Empowering your athletes is the best way to keep the sport thriving. Um, when you doubt on others, they don't want to do something, right? People can only take so much. So definitely, just that's something that I want to see is just coaches empowering their athletes, no matter what they look like, because that's honestly what has got me to where I am today is having a great support system.
The idea of redefining what an athlete looks like is so empowering, right? And you just said it. And representation matters, and you're paving the way for a future where every kid feels like they belong. And there's a difference between fit and healthy. It seems to me that you are healthy and that you are on point and you are very focused. And as a mom, that's all I care about. Now, as much as I'd love to keep chatting, I know the pool is calling your name, Zeke. But before you go, I can't help but wonder what's next for you. I mean, you're already breaking records and barriers. What's the next big splash? Any big dreams or goals on the horizon?
Um, Probably my next goal, honestly, is to hopefully dive in college. That's my biggest goal at the moment. Um, you know, it's always been a dream of mine to dive at the collegiate level. So I'm hoping that maybe in these next few months I find the school that's for me.
Channeling those scholarships, channeling those scholarships. We're manifesting for Zeke.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Well, it sounds like your journey is just getting started, and I can't wait to see what waves you'll make next. I mean, your dreams are just as inspiring as your dives. So, thank you so much for joining us tonight and truly, truly inspiring me and everyone else listening and watching.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Now, for more on Zeke's incredible journey, follow him on TikTok or on Instagram at Zeke, and it's 2 underscores, folks, Sanchez, Zeke __ Sanchez. And thank you to Once Upon a Coconut for fueling this conversation. Remember, with hydration and heart, anything is possible. Until next time, stay bold, stay inspired, and keep making waves. This is Zen Sams, your host right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be back right after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut.
Discover the refreshing taste of 100% pure coconut water that actually tastes great. Naturally sweet with no artificial flavors or added sugar. It's packed with electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout your day. And with 10% of profits going to charity, every sip makes a difference. Pure taste, pure goodness. Experience nature's Gatorade. Visit Once Upon a Coconut or naturesgatorade.com.